that's gonna have to work. How's everybody doing? Let me get out this sun real quick. How's everybody doing? I'm just probably be the quickest live I ever did. Today, I'm answering some questions about, I get this question at least once or twice a week at the very least. The question is, I should have got my mic, y'all. The question is, can you dig up your fruit tree even if it's established, if the fruit tree has been in the ground for years? Can you dig up your fruit tree, or any tree for that matter? Can you dig it up off your land and move it somewhere else? I know you can hear me now, Murphy, but I'm about to be getting into it, so it might get a little, so just listen close, okay? So the question is, can you move your fruit tree? Say you're about to move out of town. You're about to move out of town, but you want to take some of your trees, if not all of your trees, with you. Can you move your fruit tree? The question is absolutely yes, you can. Now, what I want you to know before I get started is, a lot of the fruit trees on my land, I brought here from another house. Lillian is one of them right off the bat. Another one that I brought over here got ate by a beaver, but I still have I got several apple trees that came from my other property. So say yes, you can when the leaves fall naturally. Nope, that's not true. You can move it anytime you want to. I don't want to start no non-truths. That's not true. I've done it every part of every season, from winter, spring, fall, piping hot summer. You can move any tree you want to, and I'm going to literally do that here for you today, because I have an almond tree that has dropped all its leaves now right here. I have an almond tree that's been in the ground for a little over a year, and I don't want it there. I got pecans up the wazoo. So what I'm going to end up doing, what I'm going to end up doing is taking this almond tree up, digging it out, and I'm going to put it in a container until I take it to some other land of mine. The almond tree is going somewhere completely different. But for now, I got another peach tree in a container, that I'm going to put this peach tree in the ground where that is, and I'm going to take this almond tree and I'm going to relocate it somewhere else. So, did anybody want to know how to do this? Well, this is for the people that really want to. Thank you, Team Scott. Thank you so much for that. This is really for the people to keep asking me, and I've done a billion videos on it, and I guess I just got to do it again. Big deal. So before I get into it, I'm going to give you a couple of my rules that I do. One, you want to get as much of the bigger the tree that you're going to dig up, the more of the root structure that you're going to want to get and bring with you. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, the bigger the tree, the more of the roots that you want to try to get. So you may dig a circumference. Like, if the tree is huge, you're going to want to dig all of that up, because you digging the tree up, the only thing that could possibly kill the tree is the roots, not the leaves. Everybody keep thinking it's the leaves. It's not. It's your root structure. So if you dig up your tree, don't worry about the leaves falling off. That's part of it. Don't worry about a couple of the branches dying. That's part of it. Because it's no different than you. Every time you cut an artery or something like that, part of you crumble up. It's no different than this. Your root system, those are your arteries running to your tree system. So you will hit some roots, but dig up as much as you possibly can, okay? So let's get started. I know I needed some water right out the gate. All right. So I'm gonna do my best. If I got any moderators in here, please watch out for the trigger trolls and just send them to the cornfield. No warning shots, just straight aim for the head. All right, just ain't got time for that. This is business. All right, so all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring y'all down here because it's gonna get real weird, okay? All I'm gonna do is dig around this circumference. This is where I keep mulching it at, and I keep putting a lot of grass there, okay? So if you're moving and this tree you want to go with you at your new house, this is how you do it. I'm gonna try to look out for questions the best I can, but for the most part, I'm gonna just get busy. I like to use a fork. The forks work to break up the soil without tearing the roots. I do this first so I can find those roots. See that tree rocking? I hope y'all can see this circumference that I'm doing. I'm trying to stay 1 foot away from the trunk. So I measure 12 inches away from the trunk because of the size of this tree. If your tree is bigger than that, you may want to check and come out further. Okay. Look at that. See, that's why I like to use this first. You get to see where your roots are. I really don't want to hear too much tearing. You're going to hear a lot of ripping, but see that? When you use a fork, you get a lot more of the tree roots to come up without tearing or ripping them. With a shovel, you just cut them straight off. Look at that. See the difference? This is a young tree. It was a bare root tree. It's done a lot, but it's time for it to go somewhere else. So when you dig your tree up, I'm gonna bring you over here. Let's have a session. When you dig your tree up, hey, Dan Permaculture Food Forest. When you dig up your tree, huh? All right. When you dig up your tree, I'm sorry, my baby about to go. So, all right. When you dig up your tree, you want as many roots as you can get. This is a bare root tree, and it's been in the ground for about 1.5 years. It don't like it here. I don't like it here. Here's the sweet part. I got 2 peach trees right here that are doing incredible. I just put them in the ground late spring, and they have doubled in size. So, and I got both of them on a clearance. I want to show you something. See that? This almond tree don't like it right here. So we're going to move it. So what I want you to do when you dig your tree up, this is what you need to do. Go put it in some shade, cover it up, water it, put it in a bucket of water, or put it in a tarp, moisten it, wet it down, because this is established. So it's going to start dying real fast. Put it in the shade. Do not leave your exposed roots out in the sunlight. So I'm going to set this here for now in this heavy shade so I don't have to worry. And it's cool out here. Do you remove the dirt? No. Keep on as much soil onto it as you possibly can, because those roots are established in that soil. The fork is just to get it out of the ground without ripping it all up. So it's doing all right. So what I'm going to do now I'm going to pull out the shovel. I'm going to dig this soil up. I'm going to dig the hole a little deeper. And then we're going to put this potted peach in the ground. Now, I want to show you the difference. I want to show you the difference between planting your trees in the ground and planting your trees in a container. The bigger container you have, the bigger your tree can get. The bigger container you buy, the more money it costs for the container and the soil. If you're able to plant in the ground, it's like a free-for-all. I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, how many people do I have with me right now? I have 3 peach trees. I have an Alberta, I have a Belle of Georgia, and I have a Red Haven. The one in the container here is the Red Haven. I bought all 3 trees at the exact same time. I bought all 3 trees at the exact same time. I want to show you the difference between leaving them in this container, which is a good sized container, about a 30-gallon container, versus putting them in the ground. Gnats is on me. Okay, let me show you. This is the first tree. This is the Red Haven in the container. Okay? I'm 5'9", 5'10"-ish. And as you can see, this is it. Imagine. It's only this tall, but it's 2 feet out of the ground. So it's only about 3 feet tall. See that? It's only like 3 feet tall, because when I plant it, I'm going to put it at 2 feet in the ground. So this tree is really only 3 feet tall. Let's keep that in mind, okay? I'm gonna give you another shot. This is it. So from here, here's the top of the soil, to here. That's all we got, okay? Now I'm gonna show you the other trees that I purchased at the exact same time. At the exact same time, they're all on the same exact receipt. Now let me show you what they look like, and only since late spring. Watch this. See that? total difference, right? Huge difference. Huge difference. I'm gonna show you the other one. Huge difference. See that? Now, mind you, I almost neglect these in the land and let Mother Nature have her way with it. I never water them, nothing. It's been a drought this year. So if I would have watered them, they would have even gotten bigger. On the other hand, the one in the container back here, I water all the time. I feed all the time. Okay? So when people say you can plant in a container, yes you can. But you double your efforts growing in a container versus in the ground. Because Mother Earth is feeding your tree when you plant it in the ground. When you plant, let me break it down to you like this. When you plant your tree in a container like this, it's the equivalent of planting your lamp into a solar generator. It's not going to give you everything that it can in as if you plug it into the wall. Solar power generator, a lot of them don't got the right amount of power. A lot of them gonna run out of energy. So you gotta constantly feed your solar power generator sunlight or outside energy just so your solar power generator can stay full, so your lamp can stay on, right? Imagine your container is the solar power generator. Your container is the solar power generator. Your tree is the lamp. You are the solar power the solar panel. So you got to constantly feed the container that's going to feed the tree. If you, the sun and the solar panel, if you don't come out, this thing don't eat. This thing can't travel. It will not do anything but sit in this container and die. On the other hand, this is how I look at it now. Everybody can look at it however they want to. This is how I look at it. When you plant your tree in the ground, this is to me the equivalent of plugging your tree or plugging your lamp into the socket in the wall of your house. It's gonna get everything it needs. It's like plugging your plug into the socket in the wall. Everything you need. You don't gotta worry about it no more, right? Long as you pay your bill, you good. Which is same as take care of your land. You good. You don't gotta worry too much. You don't gotta fret. All my trees in the ground, I don't gotta go running and look and see if they doing okay every single 5 minutes. If it get too hot or if it get too cold, they're gonna be all right. So, plugging them in the ground, you don't have to look after them as much. You just don't. So now, let's get right back into it, okay? Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep this short. So all I'm gonna do now is dig the rest of this hole so I can get this tree in the ground. Let's get to it. Soil is already broke up. Looking good. That's about 2 feet, like our container. Okay? Put some cracks in the sides so the roots can find a home. Okay, who's with me? Now let's get busy because I want, now this tree in this container is established. So I do want to feed this established tree, okay? So let's get to it. We going back here on the land and get some chicken salad. There we go. If you do not know what chicken salad is, it's chicken poop, it's fertilizer. Stick it. Oh my God. Okay. Stick with me here. Break it up, ladies. I gotta borrow something from you real quick. So I got a bucket coming in the coop. Now I want to show you how this works. Let me see how many people I got with me. I got everybody with me. Okay, so I'm in my chicken coop. This is why another reason it's a plus to have chickens, because it's a damn permaculture food forest just said it's best compost in the world, best natural fertilizer in the world. They churn all they, look, do you see any poop? Now this is fresh, so don't count that. But do you see any poop in here? And it don't smell like anything at all. It smell like outside. Because they do this. They do that. All I do is dump my grass in here. I dump grass in here, straw, food clippings, everything you do, you put it in here and they'll take care of it, okay? So all I'm gonna do is fill up a 5-gallon bucket full of their compost. This is real chicken poop compost that they churn up. I have a composter that I am literally going to give away because I have no use for it. This is what I do. I got this thing, I've had it for probably 6 years. No use for it whatsoever because they do it for you. I put out video after video of me doing this. Let's get back to it. So this is parts that they haven't broken up yet. So this is it. This is just, you can put this whole composted poop block in here if you wanted to. Look at that. Now, I ain't even gonna bother churning it up because they did it for me, but I will show it to you the best I can. See that? This is what they do. I don't have to do nothing. You know how much money you pay for this? This is chicken poop compost. All organic. Grass clippings, straw. I don't have to churn it. I don't have to have a compost bin, as everybody keep talking about. My chicken coop is my compost bin. So that's enough for that. Okay, that's it. So I got a 5-gallon bucket full of natural compost fertilizer. This is what I feed all my trees. I just don't get into those chemicals and all that strange stuff. So we're gonna take this back up front. We're gonna dump it in this hole. Any questions so far while I'm walking? Okay. That's it. Let me see. Let me answer any questions so far. Gardening, did you fertilize them with any nitrogen earlier this year? I told you, I only put in my chicken poop. I don't get into all of the different aspects of stuff like that. I don't see it to be no. How do you winterize your fruit trees? I live in the South. I don't. And here's another answer for that. How do you winterize your fruit trees? You really need to know and understand which trees need the cold. Tropical trees, you do need to winterize them and bring them in the house or put them in the greenhouse, bring them in the garage. Things like pears, apples, certain peaches, plums, they should stay outside even in the winter. They're stone fruits, they need to be outside. You don't bring those in. How about stagnant? What do you mean, how about stagnant work in the backyard because of bad drainage? You mean, how about stagnant water? I've done videos on that because I do have poor drainage. When I have poor drainage, I'm going to show you a method, what I do right now with all of my trees. All of my trees are on a mound because your root system has to breathe. So I leave my trees out of the ground at least 2 inches, all of them. It looks crazy at first, but it makes sense years later. When all your trees are mounded up, let me show you. I'm gonna see if you can see. See that mound that peach tree is sitting on? And the peach tree in front of it is mounded up even higher. That's due to poor drainage. So you don't stick them deep down in a hole. You let them sit up. I'm gonna show you right now. So let me answer a couple more questions and I'm gonna get right onto it. Okay, no questions. So I'm gonna get right into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do, okay, I'm gonna bring my chicken salad here. This is my chicken poop. And I'm just gonna put some of that in to feed my new planted tree. Just like that. Now, I'm gonna take this tree, turn it over. If you ever plan on taking a tree out of a clay pot, try not to plant trees in clay pots. It's a nightmare to get them out because you can't beat the side without breaking it. You just gotta muscle them out. Now, I want you to see this. This is the root structure of that peach. As much as it's been growing in this pot like this, it hasn't even grown. By next season, it's going to be root bound and useless. Look at that, still in the root bound and useless. Look at that. So let's get back to it. I want to show you that root structure. And all I'm going to do is put this in a hole and shake up those roots and loosen them up and let this tree know that it can spread out. Okay, got it. So, be careful, don't hurt yourself. Now, this is exactly what I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna bring you down here because you really need to see this. This is important, okay? If you have low drainage on your land, even if you don't have low drainage, you should follow this right here. It works. Trust me. My trees is living proof. This is coming in almost right at the top, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit more underneath because I want this whole thing to be out about 2 inches. Can you see that? I don't count this because that's just this. So I'm going to pull this back out. I'm going to use its own stuff to make this hole deeper. I mean, come out a little higher. Can y'all see that okay? See that? I'm waking those roots up. I'm waking these roots up. There you go. I want you to be able to see that. So I want those to be fuzzy like that. I don't want them wrapping around in that shape of that pot. Okay, like that. Now, I'm just going, that's where I want it. Pick it up, put some of that back under there, mix it with that feed that I just put in there, angle him up, boom. See how much higher? See how much higher it is out of the hole now? Instead of just this, I got this. Now all of this is gonna fight that poor drainage. This up here can survive, and the bottom is only gonna get the water that it needs, so it'll never drown. Okay, we crank you back up so you can see how I'm gonna go at this. And now you can see clearly a stark difference in the size of this peach tree versus the rest. See? Total difference. Huge difference versus that. So all I'm gonna do now with this one is fill in this hole. First thing I'm gonna do is get more chicken poop and put around it to feed it. I put it all in there. And now, I'm just gonna fill in this hole with native soil. You mound that up, just like a volcano. Just like that. Now we just gonna stamp that down a little bit. Let it know it's home. Don't be scared to expose those top roots. Now I'm gonna come back in with a rake and clean all that up. I'm gonna water that in real hard, and that's it. Okay, now for the tree that you wanna take somewhere else, this is what we're gonna do. Right now, we're gonna put this tree in a 5-gallon bucket. That's gonna be a little crazy, so stick with me. Okay, I gotta try to grab all this at the same time. Y'all with me? Okay, we're gonna take this to the back. Hold on. Sorry about this, y'all. I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, I'm gonna come over here in the shade. That sun is tearing me up. All right, so far, do we have any questions whatsoever? Let me grab a chair so I can answer whatever you got for me. Any questions whatsoever? Okay, no questions. So what I'm gonna do is, how far apart do you plant your peach trees? It don't matter to me. That doesn't matter in your garden. That only matters in farms. I don't even know. How do you plant your collards? In the ground? I don't understand your question. Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you for that. Will the cold weather this year affect the trees? Which trees are you talking about? That has everything to do with everything, because there are certain trees that needs cold weather and certain trees don't. Tropical trees do not want to be in the cold. Stone fruit trees need the cold. Apples, pears, plums, peaches. Um, certain trees need that cold weather to make them produce fruit. Do your 3-foot trees already produce fruit? Yes. By seeds, or do you plant by the plant? Both. Is it good to replant an apple tree that's been in the ground? I'm doing that right now. That's what this whole video is about. I'm literally replanting an almond tree. What plants, or can you use cow manure soil? You can use whatever you feel like you want to use. I use chicken poop from my chickens. I don't like using stuff that I'm not quite sure of where it came from. What did they feed those cows? Whatever. What drugs did they put in the cows? Do you have any moringa trees? Yes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, what should someone expect? What should someone expect when bringing Meyer lemon indoors for the winter, and how to keep it healthy? You shouldn't expect anything. That's not a hard thing to do. Meyer lemons do well in the house. A lot of people never even let their Meyer lemons come outside at all. My mother kept her lemon tree in the house for 5 years, and she only set it on her front porch during summer. Let me see. Will those peach trees you just planted do okay, since they won't have time to get established before winter? This is when you should be planting your tree. You plant your tree Your trees do best when you plant them in fall and in spring. Think about it. You see why the nurseries always go crazy during fall and nurseries go crazy during the spring, because that is planting time. That is planting time. Um, have you tried sprouting in a jar? No, I have no reason for that. What's up, Hands in the Dirt? What's up, Learn to Grow My Own? Say thank you, Liv, for my receive on moringa seedling and elderberry cutting. Well, thank you, my friend. Chicken poop is good fertilizer. Yes, it is. So if there's no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and put this almond tree in a 5-gallon container until I take it to my other land to plant it in the ground. This is all you do. You get some soil. I have a pineapple plant I grew from using the top of the store bought pineapple. Do I need to keep it inside? I don't know where you live, Diane, so that's a big question. If you live in the South somewhere, then it just depends on what part of what grow zone you're in. So I'm gonna get busy right now, okay? So all I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna come out here. I got a couple of buckets that are still empty, okay, from some of my pepper plants, but some of them I've planted. So I'm gonna grab these two. I'm gonna grab just this one. I'm gonna grab this one, and I'm gonna come over here. Because this is where we putting this at. Let me grab another one. Because that white bucket don't have a hole in the bottom. This one does, yes. Make sure your bucket has a hole in the bottom for drainage. Now I'm gonna show you how simple this is. Okay, so all I do, I got a bucket with a hole in it for drainage. I'm gonna put a little bit of this already existing soil that I have in this bucket. This has wood, ash, soil, chicken poop, you name it, it's in there. Right in the face. All right. All right. I'm gonna fill that up to about there. Now your question is, will the roots fit? No, they will not. Now the real question is, and let me get down here with you. The real question is, how temporary is this for you? Are you going to move it right now and have this planted and transported somewhere else in the next 30 days? Or do you need to put this in a container and leave this for the next year before you move? That's the big question. If you're going to put this in a container and you know you're not going to move for another 6 months to a year, you can go ahead and snip off the ends of these roots, depending on how big the tree is. Okay, if you got a really big tree, you should just leave it laying on a tarp and fill the top with soil. But if it's about this big, go ahead and say you go about to move in about 30 days, maybe 3 months. Watch this. All you do is, I'm gonna show you what I do and what I have done, and I have been successful for years. Tornado those roots just like that. Spin that tree, tornado those roots. That's what they're gonna do anyway, because you want as many roots as you can possibly get. And when you pull it out, you can shake all of that dirt off and back into formation like we did out there with that peach tree. So now all I'm gonna do is fill the rest of this up with soil. I still got my pepper roots in it. Fill that up with soil, just like this. Remember, this is temporary. This isn't forever. If you plan on keeping this in a container for a long period of time, just go get a bigger container, or snip the roots and cut the tree down. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prune the tree and snip the roots. Hold on. Okay. This is just a established piece of soil that I have my peppers and stuff in, tomatoes. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna shake it to get that soil through them roots, in that root system. Just like that. Cover that up. Now I'm gonna water this in really, really good because I don't want no air bubbles in there. I want that soil touching each and every root. I'm gonna pack it hard. Leave about an inch or two at the top so the water can sit in there and drain down slowly so you don't lose any water. I hope y'all can hear me okay. And this is what you get. This is what you get. Almond tree. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get a solar power generator, hook it to the pump in the creek, and we're gonna water it hard. Hold on. All right, y'all with me? Okay, I got a Jackery 240. It can run my pump, but it always do something crazy. This is the first thing I grabbed anyway. So we just gonna come over here in the jungle. Here we go. Here we go. It will go and then shut off for a second. Once I start hearing water. Oh, we doing all right. Okay. We doing okay. So my pump is working through solar power. And now we just gonna go water it in, okay? Just like this. Water it in hard. See how that water doesn't escape because I left that 2-inch space between the top of the bucket and the soil. Move that out the way a minute. Let that water sink in slow. It's gonna take all the air bubbles out. Rock that tree. Look at that. You rock that tree and move that tree around. Look at it now. It's filling in the space. It's filling in the space of that tree. And the soil is going between the roots. See that? First it was jam-packed. Y'all saw me pack it down hard. Now let that sit. Watch them air bubbles. Rock it down. Let that stuff get all between them roots. Just like that. Because you want them roots, you plugging them roots into this bucket. See how slow that's going? That's how tight I got that thing packed in. But that's how hard you want it watered too. You want to make sure that water is touching everything down in this bucket. Everything. Okay. So that's a good fit right there. That's a good one. All right. I bet you if I lift that bucket, let that water out. Yeah, there it go. So, all right. Now, damn. camera. All right, family. So now what we got is a tree that's perfectly planted, and it could literally sit here for a year just like that safely. And I can go pick that up, put it in my U-Haul, and take it anywhere around the country that I can legally take it. Do I have any questions whatsoever? Let me cut this water off. All right, let's come up closer to the scene here so we can get into it. Oh, hallelujah. Okay. Any questions about what we did today? We just planted this tree. We literally relocated it, and I can show you, I think I can. That's the brand new little peach tree that we just planted right there. See it? Right there. This little guy right here. That's what we just planted. Any questions? So it's that easy to relocate a tree, and an established tree. If your tree has a long taproot, don't be afraid to relocate it either. I relocated this pecan tree right here, and they have long taproots. I cut that taproot off, and you know what happens? It literally grows another taproot out the side, and it goes back down. So I've heard that you can't do that, but I'm living proof that you can. This peach tree right here is proof. Did you know the quality of your soil before you planted your trees? Nope. I hear a lot of that too. All your soil testing and all of this stuff. If you want to do that, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. But I purchased a blackberry tree and had only one blackberry show up. You had you mean a blackberry plant? Yeah, it take time for those to get established. Once they get established, you're gonna have more blackberries than you know what to do with. Let's see. Amber's Magical Garden says, how is your air layer pecan tree? Did you move it also? Thank you for, no, I actually gave that away. Thank you for all your content. Been watching for 5 years. It's been an awesome experience. Thank you so much. No, I gave that away. I air layered 2 branches off of this pecan tree right here. Literally, wait, let's stop this here. This pecan tree right here, I grafted 2 branches, one right there, and you can see the other one that I grafted off down there, and I gave those away. Is that the air layer pecan or the original? Okay. Are you gonna move some of your trees to your new land? Let me see. Is that real taro? I don't, you talking about this right here? Yes. Hey, Grammy's midwife, how you doing? Banana tree pups should love them, just let them grow. Okay. Will you water the tree that you just planted in the ground or let it nature do it? No, I'm going to water it. I'm just on a video and I kind of wanted to keep it short. So I watered this one because that was the main subject of the tree. But in a minute, I'm gonna go all the way up there and just let the water just sit on that, just drown it so it can settle in. What you're gonna get is your tree is probably gonna lose its leaves. It's fall, it's warm, still here. It's gonna be fine. You may even have a couple dead branches. It's gonna be fine. Would you recommend grafting from a 3-foot peach tree? Grafting from a 3-foot peach tree? You talking about taking pieces off of it or putting peaches onto it? That's totally up to you. So now's a good time to plant out trees and bushes. I have some cherries that need to be set out. It depends on where you are. Right now in my area, this is one of the most perfect times besides spring to plant a tree. It's less stress on a tree to plant it in the fall. Would you? Oh, got that one. Let me see. I think that was it. Why can't I get this? There we go. Thanks, Aunt Ford. Would it be better to move an established tree now or wait until winter when it's dormant? It's totally up to you, and it totally depends on where you are. I live in Columbia, South Carolina, and I can only tell you what I've done. I've moved trees in the piping hot heat, in the dead of winter, first of spring, last of fall, first of fall. It never matters to me. You just need to understand, when you do relocate a tree, it's going to suffer a little bit. Your tree is going to suffer when it's in stressful hot months, or when it's leafed out. You're going to lose the leaves. You might lose a few branches, but you'll have the tree. So it's not going to kill the tree if you do it in piping hot summer or something like that. So the best times is when it's dormant, but that doesn't that's no rule to me. I move a tree when I have to. Usually when you need to move a tree and relocate it somewhere else, time is not on your side. You can't say, well, I'm going to be moving dead of summer, I'll be back in the fall for my tree. You know how I'm saying? So when I moved, I think it was July. I want to say it was July when I moved in this house. Piping hot. What do you use for leaf curl on peach trees? I don't use anything. I don't put chemicals on my trees. And when the leaves curl up and they get leaf curl, and the leaves fall, they just fall. I just make sure I don't have any other diseases on my trunk and my limbs. And you gotta understand something when you gardening. That's why I always say, please try to plant at least 2 of everything. You know, do the whole Noah thing. And this is why. Because you lose some and you win some. One tree might not do so good this year, but the other tree just go off, you know? So this tree, it got leaf curl. And usually I've had leaf curl on my peach trees and I've never lost peaches. What do you do for banana trees in the winter? Nothing. I live in the South. They look bad during the winter, but I used to dig them up and put them away. I don't really do that too much no more, unless I'm just trying to duplicate them. But I leave them right where they stand. That all depends on where you are. Let me see. I got a banana spitting out a fruit. I mean a fruiting leaf right now. Let me see. No questions. So I just wanted to be on here to show you guys and give you that example. And I hope you learned something, because that's all to it. This tree behind us is a perfect example of, if you need to move, this is what you do. You dig your trees up and put them in 5-gallon buckets or bigger and get them out of there. At what size do you wait to separate the banana pups? That's completely up to you. Um, you can separate them pretty much whenever you want to. That just depends on you. And then you got to ask yourself too, what's the hurry? So I got banana pups all around me. I ought to do another video and just separate all of these pups, because I'm going to be collecting all these banana pups and probably selling them off. I got ice cream blue java banana. I got plantain. I got grand name, rajapuri. How to grow pineapple outside in winter. I don't know. It depends on where you live at. All of it. There is really no universal advice, family. Most of it is start digging a hole first and put the tree in a hole. But for the most part, you got to understand, I don't know where you live, so you have to specify, where are you? What grow zone are you in? What kind of soil? That lets me know what kind of soil you're dealing with, what kind of weather you're dealing with, because everything I'm doing here will not help you where in Michigan. Whatever I'm doing in the South, in South Carolina, might not help you in Iowa, So when you say, how do you plant a peach tree? It depends on where you are. Do you have any advice for growing trees in Georgia sand? In when you say GA, do you mean Georgia? Georgia sand? I don't understand the question. Georgia sand. Now, if you would have said Georgia red clay, I would have. You have sand in Georgia. What part of Georgia are you in? Because I've never heard of Georgia sand. The part of Georgia with the red clay is mainly inland, like Atlanta area, but she might be in a part of Georgia like Tybee Island and Savannah. Have you grown pawpaw trees? I got a pawpaw tree sitting right behind me, right here. Let me show you. Right here, can you see it? Pawpaw tree right there with that tag on it. I got pawpaw trees right behind me, right here, near Savannah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Um, when you growing trees in sand, you have to establish your soil. So if you got really sandy, well, just sand, you have to bring in soil. There's no two ways about that. It's no different than Florida, some parts of California. If you live in those beach type areas, you have to bring in soil, topsoil, and just you have to get it established. That's the only thing I can advise. Now, that I can't speak on, because there's a lot of sand right here. I'm in South Carolina, but on my island out there, on this part in front of the water, that's all sand. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you for that. That's all sand. So you have to literally bring that soil and mix as much natural earthly soil as you can into that sand. You want to minimize that sand. Sand is good for soil, but too much sand, that means too much drainage. That means your tree will burn up. I'm in 8A Country Hustle. What's the difference in topsoil and garden soil? What's the difference in topsoil and garden soil? I don't understand. I don't understand your question. If you if we're talking about just putting in the ground, just forget those words. You just need soil. If you're trying to get your ground ready, you just need soil. Because we can get all into the topsoil versus the next level. And yes, I have plenty of videos on canning MYB. I have a whole canning playlist. Bagged. Okay, what's the difference between bagged soil and topsoil? Bagged soil, 9 times out of 10, came from, I want to watch my mouth, a landfill. A lot of garden soil, I'm telling you, I can't make this up. A lot of garden soil that you go purchase comes from a landfill. That's why they have recycling. They will recycle trees, limbs, wood chips, yard trash. You have a garbage man that comes around every week, and you also have a recycling man that comes around every week. The recycling man picks up cans, bottles, and then there's another recycling truck that comes to pick up twigs, trash, leaves, yard debris. When you go to a recycling station, there's a dumpster that says just yard debris, which is limbs, wood, clean wood they call it. That's all ground up, sat around until it turns back into soil, and they sell you that in a bag. That's why a lot of it have termites in it. I did a video on that last year, or was it this year? This spring. A lot of bags of it with termites in it. Do you sell elderberry cuttings? Yes, and we actually just uploaded another 50 cuttings. So they're on our website at easilygrowngarden.com. So yes, I literally just did that yesterday. So we do sell elderberry cuttings, and I have 50 more left. Have you tried growing beets? No, I don't like beets. Oh, okay, okay, this is a good one. Art Wallace, thinking of moving two pawpaws from a very shady spot to get a little more sun. Thoughts? Number one, don't move a pawpaw. Don't do it. Pawpaws are so temperamental. Ask anybody. Go look all over do your research. Wherever a pawpaw is planted, leave it alone. Number one. Number two, do you see my pawpaw, that yellow tag right there? That's a pawpaw tree. Look what it's under. It's under a whole natural canopy. Why isn't my I got 4 pawpaw trees over there. Why isn't my pawpaw trees over there in the rest of my land? Pawpaw trees like that overstory. They don't like to be out in full sun. They will burn up instantly. Pawpaw trees, I have several more pawpaw trees across my creek over there. All it's about that I can see. I think that's one big giant pawpaw tree over there. All understory. They do not like to be out in full sun. So if it's planted, leave it alone. They don't like hot sun anyway. So does what come with rooting instructions? I missed something. Miss Rosa says, you're right about recycled soil. I bought some soil with bits of plastic bags in it. Yes. Never heard of a pawpaw tree. Let me see. Somebody said, leave the pawpaw alone, especially in Florida. Yes, leave them alone. The sun will burn them to a crisp. How are the pomegranates doing? They're doing great. Had termites kill a couple of my trees. That means your trees had a problem anyway. Termites don't eat live wood. Let's see. Thank you, MYB. Have you tried? Oh, got that one. So I think that's it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you for getting rid of them, Happy Mac. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Does your cuttings, like the elderberry cuttings, do they come with rooting instructions? No. No, I'm not a nursery. I just sell cuttings that I have. There's nothing to do with There's literally nothing to do with an elderberry but jam it in the ground. If I showed you, I got, good job, moderators. Thank you for that. I had a elderberry, literally, that I just stuck in the ground and in a pot, and it just went crazy. People keep doing too much. They put my cuttings. You're going to get a stick, an 8-inch stick with a bunch of little nodule, little bumps on it. As soon as you stick that thing in the dirt, I got hundreds, literally hundreds of people that bought cuttings from me and did exactly what I said. Just stick it in the dirt. And all of them, go to my Facebook page, the Easily Grown Garden Facebook page. Go to that and you'll see the evidence of everybody that bought those cuttings. You know, the ones that did not do well, people would email me, well, I put some rooting hormone, I put some honey on it, I dabbed it with a little, I put it in a cup of water. And them cuttings, those elderberry and mulberry cuttings are literally like weeds, literally grow like weeds. You don't need to do anything to them. You don't have to put no rooting hormone, no honey, no weeping willow sap, none of that crap on it. You just stick that sucker in the dirt and water it, and it's gonna go nuts. And right when you think it's not doing something, I had somebody tell me that, which I end up telling somebody else. They was like, mine ain't doing nothing, mine ain't doing nothing, because the top of it wasn't doing nothing. And then all of the roots came up and they got the elderberry trees. It re-rooted and grew a whole nother tree out the soil. Let's see, killed 3 trees so far. I live in Indiana, 1 peach, 2 apple trees. I'm so discouraged on buying buying. 1 I put in the ground, 2 then I kept in pots. They bloomed then died. Any advice? Miss Christian Robinson, I don't know what you did wrong. For you to kill that many trees, did you water them? You gotta water them. You gotta feed them. And it depends on were they already in pots and half established, like from a nursery like Home Depot, or did you buy them bare root? All of that matters. All of that matters. What's the website to order? It's easily, like easily done, easilygrowngarden.com. Say, amen. I've started mulberries by accident throwing cuttings on the ground, literally weeds. Mulberries will literally take, I showed y'all one of my last videos of the mulberry, just a little twig I stuck in the ground and it just took off, and now it's about 20 feet tall. Which way is up on the elderberry cuttings? You can see the nodules. If you look at it perfectly, look at it good. Literally, you really can't mess it up. You can even lay it sideways if you want to. But you can see where the branches used to be. If you get one without those little branches that I cut off, literally, you can lay it sideways. Up is down, down is up. It ain't even gonna matter. It's gonna grow out of those little dots on the side. All of those are potential branches. Say, boy, that tree in the background look nice. Is that a persimmon? Yes, it's one of my favorite persimmons. It is a tamapan persimmon. So I'm gonna actually take that. I'm gonna show you why this is so special to me. I show y'all this every time. This is one of the most special. God, this is so beautiful. Let me take that dead leaf off so you can see how beautiful. It's time for me to harvest these tamapan persimmons. See that shape of that? All of them are shaped like this. See them in the background? That is a beautiful fruit. You just wipe that dusting off and get the shine. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, I took one off the other day. I took it off, and these you have to let get ripe. You can't eat that crunchy off the tree. Speaking of eating something crunchy off the tree, I might have a little appetite. Let's come out here. Thank you, Aiton. Thank you for that. Let's come out here. Chill with me. Oh, this is perfect. This is my other persimmon tree. And I'm looking for a good one. I think I found one. Y'all see that okay? This is a good one right here. This is a gyro persimmon. You can eat this fresh and crunchy off the tree. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna take a few more questions. I'll stay in here an hour and a half, stay in 90 minutes, and then we can get out of here. Any questions whatsoever? Thank you, Crafty Mom. Thank you for that. Let me see. Thank you, my friend said, thank you for this channel. I don't have any land or access to very good sunlight, but your channel has given me some confidence. Try to grow herbs. I'm starting in cups. That's all you can do. What's up, Sunday Backyard Farmer, man? Thank you for that. Thank you, you guys. So once you get that little haze off, you got a beautiful piece of fruit. Y'all know how much these cost in the store, right? I'm gonna show you what that look like on the inside. Cut off the butt. This is my favorite part, that heart. You have tech questions. Okay, I'm going over to that channel next. Look at that. See, I picked 2 pink ladies off my apple tree. First time. I got 2 this year too, Miss Shirley OG. Said persimmons are like fruit candy. Yes, they are. So this is it. I'm gonna just show you. It's like eating a cookie. Or you can you can let these get squishy, or you can eat these crunchy. When is my pomegranates ready? Pomegranate season is over. I didn't have any this year. I took them off. Happy Mac, is there a big difference in taste, texture between the gyro and the tamapan? The tamapan you have to let turn into jelly. So that changes everything automatically. If I let these turn into jelly, they pretty much taste similar. The tamapan has a more cinnamony taste. If this one is jelly and that one is jelly, that one has a more cinnamon taste. So what's in season now? I don't understand your question. That's right, Regina. They cost a fortune. Okay, so no question. Astringent persimmons is the tamapan, yes. Tamapan is astringent. Definitely. I tried to eat one. You'll suck your whole head inside out. Turn into a black hole at the neck. But they are so beautiful. They're still delicious, but they are so beautiful. I thought winter was pomegranate season. That depends on where you are, my friend. It all depends on where you are. Just because it's winter don't mean nothing. So I don't want you to, and it depends on what kind of pomegranate you have also. Some of them ripen at different times. What family of fruit does persimmons come from? When you say what family of fruit, I don't understand your question. How do I care for my key lime tree in North Texas? It start yellowing and the cold is coming. If it started yellowing, that means it's deficient in nutrition somewhere. You're missing something. If your leaves are turning yellow, you have a couple of different reasons why your leaves are turning yellow on citrus. One is the leaf is old and it's time to call it a day. Number two is deficient in nutrients. Made me drop my persimmon. Now I got to get another one. Let me see. No more questions? How long have I had the pomegranate? That's an excellent question. Have you ever seen my pomegranate tree? Um, I think I've had them for 3 years. Don't hold me to that. I'll be bad with numbers, so don't ever hold me to none of that. I want to say 3 years. When there's a lot of persimmons, what do you do with them? Can you freeze dry them? You can freeze dry them. I have canned them. I have not freeze dried them. Dehydrated them is what we really like to do. But yes, you could do anything with them. I got them canned. I got them dehydrated. Dehydrated, they taste like fruit candies. I'm gonna give these to my chickens because I dropped them. I'm gonna grab another persimmon, and I just got a question. I'm in Georgia. When is the best time to plant watermelon? In the spring. Vote the power. Can we see the pomegranate? Yeah, we'll head on up there because we about to head out anyway. Is it like peach, plum, or citrus? Um, Neither. Neither. A persimmon, a persimmon is in a class by itself. Persimmons are in a class by themselves. Do you prune blueberry bushes or just leave them to grow out? You do prune them. You have to prune off the dead branches, but other than that, that's all I do. I just prune off the dead stuff. I don't even prune off the crossing stuff. My blueberries are, where's my blueberries at? Oh, you can't see them. They right behind this tree. It's a whole little field of them right here. What kind of persimmons were you just eating? A gyro fuyu persimmon, a Japanese persimmon, Asian persimmon, I'm gonna call it. So we're gonna go up here. Did Black's Tropical Homestead convince me to get a freeze dryer yet? I'm in the works. I might do it. I might. I'm thinking about it still. Thinking about it. You know what? I'm gonna look at it like this. If somebody give me one, I'm gonna go for it. I just, I really like them. I do. I really like them. But if somebody give me one, I'll do it. Other than that, I'm just gonna hold on right now. I'm clutching onto that money. Hey, Beauty in the Garden, good to see you, little sister. So let's get over here. Are they pricey? Is what pricey? Let's grab another persimmon while we playing. Here we go. Here we go. That's a nice one. That's a nice set right there. Oh, that's nice. This is the easiest way to get them off without breaking the branches off. Just twist it. It's fun too anyway. I like to move the leaf off because stuff lives under the leaf. Nothing ever mess with the fruit, but things live under the leaf. Got them. All right. So I got another persimmon. Let's get over here. And you want to see my pomegranates now, right? Hold on a second. All right. So this is how this composting thing works. The food that you don't eat goes in here. They're gonna eat that, poop it out, turn it into compost. That's all to that. Why are okay? So here's my pomegranates. This is them. This is just one of them. All of this is it. This whole thing is a pomegranate, and it's always full every year. Now here's another one. This one doesn't do as good, but it still gives me a lot of fruit. Not as much as this one. Do you have natural predators to come near the chicken coop? Yes. And I have one more. All my pomegranates here. They're all in a bunch. There's a bunch of different kind in there. How many do you get on a year? I don't even know. I'm going to be honest with you about something. Once you start growing food, like fruit trees, when you first start getting the fruit, you count. You do a lot of counting. How many you got or whatever, right? Sit here with you. When you first start growing food, you do count a lot. Oh, I got 5. Oh, I got 100 this year. After a while, you really stop caring. And I'm gonna tell you why you stop caring about counting your fruit and counting your food. Because you see what I'm doing now? I eat it all through the year because you get so much. Go out there and get you a snack. Here's my snack for the day. Go out there and get you a snack. Sometimes I'm in the house and I get a little, I want something sweet. Go out there and get a persimmon. It is that simple. So there certain things there is no real harvest time. Persimmons, soon as I'm gonna say August hit, I just start eating them off the tree. And then when the cold hit hard and I have to take them off, it's like, okay, I got about 4 or 5 different 5-gallon buckets of this stuff. I don't count them no more. You will see once your stuff start growing like that. Look how pretty that is. Once your stuff start growing like that, it's like the newbie feeling is gone, and you just really want to make sure your food is growing properly. Oh, this one is super sweet. I wasn't ready for that. Goodness. Yeah, the later you let a persimmon sit, the sweeter they get. They get sweeter and sweeter. And here's another one. And this goes for most fruit. The fruit that's closest to the sun or is in the sun for most of the day, that's always your sweetest, biggest fruit. Say the deer ate the rest of your fruit. I'm gonna show you a video, and you're gonna see deer in my yard. I'm gonna show you something. So taste the difference between the one you're eating and the food. None. Francis, you say you lost both of your beehive. This was a horrible year for hive beetle. Everybody been getting hive beetle like crazy. I don't know what that's about. I had one with hive beetle. The part that was good was the hive beetles did run my bees out of a hive, but they moved into one of my existing hives that was just standing there. So, am I fighting with squirrels? Not anymore. I set traps for them. You say deer love persimmons. They do. Deer love everything, apples too. But this is what you do. I know it sounds gross, and I say this every video. You got to put your urine out on your yard. Not mine, urine. You got to put your urine out. Pee in a bottle. I know that sounds gross. Pee in a bottle and sprinkle it, spray it on everything around your yard. Will elderberries grow in the water like mangroves? Yes. Has any of your... Teresa in the Northeast wanted to know when to put the elderberry in the ground. We're heading into winter. You're in the Northeast. I've planted some in the ground right before winter, but that was down here. Sunday Backyard Farmer said I did a man juice video last year. I'm telling you, it just works. It works. I'm going to show you on camera. Wait, first, plant, for the person in the Northeast, plant your cutting, just plant it in a pot and leave it in the house. Okay? Leave it in the house. Make sure it stays watered, but not soaking wet. They will work straight in the ground for the winter, but I don't know about where you are. So, my backyard has a lot of holes in it. Do you think they are moles, squirrels, or hiding acorns? I don't know. You got to pay attention to your yard. I don't live there, so just because you got a hole in your yard, I can't tell you what kind of animal live in it. It could be anything. Now, your urine keeps away everything. I know this sounds crazy. Like that commercial, I put that ish on everything. I put it on everything. And I know it's gross. But do you ever hear me talk about deer damage? Never. I'm going to show you and release a video tomorrow of about 3 deer in my yard. Young deer too, so they don't even know no better. I'm going to show you deer sniffing my trees, sniffing my persimmon trees. I'm going to show you those deer walking through my yard, sniffing everything. Don't touch nothing. And guess what? Now they gone. After every time it rains or a lot of dew comes into your yard, it washes your scent away. So you got to go back out there. Good thing about that is you never run out of urine. I hope. If you run out of urine, you might want to go see a doctor. But you never run out of urine. Only male urine works? I have no idea, to be honest. You might be thinking, about mating. No, this ain't got nothing to do with mating. This got to do with the human scent. You could use your hair cutting clippings out there too. And you could, I mean, your clothes, you could use all kind of stuff. So that's it. You guys, I hope this helped you. Goodness gracious. So you opt for the hair clippings over urine? You run out of hair. Does it work for a possum? I'm gonna say no. Any guava advice? What kind of advice do you need? Um, I ain't gonna want no dinner in a minute. Oh, for the possum. Possums and raccoons is just gross. Thank you, Truth. Possums and raccoons is so gross. They'll even sniff poop. You know, possums like to eat dead stuff too, like a vulture. I don't think possums care. I've never seen it really work on a possum. And raccoons eat garbage from humans. They don't care. Raccoons literally seek out humans to scavenge after. Man, I'll bring you some. Animals that survive because of us aren't scared of us. You could pee, puke, and poop anywhere you want to. They don't care. How you doing, Vaughn? When planting apple trees, should they both be same or different? The more different trees you have, the better chances of pollination you have. But there's a way to get around that. What about a groundhog? I don't know. What's your question? I have several different apples in my yard. I got pink ladies, yellow, Granny Smith, pink lady. I don't know what this one is. Oh, yellow delicious, pink lady, Granny Smith, red delicious, another yellow delicious, and a Arkansas black. The reason I did that, and you put that yellow delicious, if you put a yellow delicious, that's your main, besides a crab apple, that's your main pollinating tree. That tree will pollinate almost everything else you got. So I got 2 of them. Had 3, but a beaver ate it. So I suggest you either put different kinds of trees, or you can, if you say you really just want a crop of pink lady apple trees, right? You want 5 pink lady apples. Well, that's when you do one of 2 things. One, either plant crab apples in between those somewhere, or you have to graft on a yellow delicious, a Granny Smith, or crab apple cuttings onto that tree so it can pollinate the rest of the tree or the orchard. I don't know, Vaughn. When it comes to things that live under the ground like voles, moles, and all of that stuff, and groundhogs, I always tell people, man, just go get a professional. You cannot stop them things. You can grab a couple of them, but just go have a professional get rid of them. Can you use hibiscus pollen to pollinate a fruit tree? Why would you pick a specific flower? What would make you, I'm trying to understand, what would make you think like a hibiscus is going to pollinate a fruit tree? Like what made you pick hibiscus out of all the other trees you could have picked? That's, you never heard of Arkansas black? It's an apple that's literally looks black. Oh, other hibiscus. I don't know. I don't grow hibiscus anymore. I thought you was like, why would a hibiscus pollinate a fruit tree? I was like, what? Do any, do I have any honey jars for sale or jars of honey for sale? No, I don't sell honey anymore. So yellow delicious and pink lady would be a good combination. That's an excellent combination. I literally have two pink ladies and I have a yellow delicious sitting right in front of them. Yeah, I don't sell honey anymore. Will it keep nut? I don't know, Denise. I'm not sure. If that, I don't know. I'm not gonna go in on that. When is the when is the grow fruit trees from seeds video coming out? What do you mean? Grow fruit trees from seeds? I have no reason to do that. If you let me get that let me go and touch on that too. If you grow fruit trees from a seed, you always see me putting seeds in my pocket. I'm putting seeds in my pocket because you don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. But here's the part that people don't quite understand. If you got an apple seed out of your apple, that does not mean you're going to get that exact same apple. Matter of fact, it's slim to none that you're going to get that same apple. So you might grow this apple from a seed out of the apple you just got, and you might get a bitter, nasty, flavorless, tart apple. You might have this great pink lady apple or something. You heard there is a male and a female watermelon. Is this true? A male and female watermelon? I don't know. I don't know. That's something you need to Google. I'm gonna have you Google that one because what difference would that even make? Let's just say it was true. How is that going to help you at all? I'm just wondering because um I'm just wondering if there is a male watermelon and a female watermelon, what difference would it make? Like, what are you trying to do with these melons? Why you need to know. Now, are you speaking of, is there a female and male watermelon flower? Yes. there are male and female watermelon flowers. I'm messing with you. Um, I'm tired. I've had a long day, y'all. There is male and female watermelon flowers, just like there is squash. There's just like there is cucumbers, just like there is zucchini. Yep, the female is sweeter than the. Wait a minute. You saying yep, the female is sweeter than its true watermelon? Uh, I gotta say this to you, my friend. I kind of been watching. I've been watching you this whole time, man. I've been watching you this whole time, and that right there just let me that was confirmation. That was confirmation. You got to go to the cornfield, cause man, that's some bullshit. If I ever heard some, you could not even begin to understand how watermelon pollination works if I don't want that being that. Now that's not even a funny joke. That's just dumb. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate saying the word. That's just dumb, and I don't want nobody thinking none of that. There's a male flower and a female flower, and they work almost like people. The male gets his pollen off to the female flower. The female flower is then becomes impregnated and grows into a very large watermelon. The male flower does not get impregnated. I understand this is 2023 and things are different now with the way we choose to accept one another. But facts is facts and nature is nature. There is a male flower and there is a female flower. And only the female watermelon flower becomes a watermelon. Now, once somebody shows me a male watermelon flower become a watermelon, uh, I'm done. I give up. I give up on everything I thought was right. I just become a recluse and just no, I didn't send them off just because of that. I've been watching that person for a long time, and um I've been watching that person for a long time, and I got him, Happy Mac. When y'all see somebody like that, aim for the head. Don't 300 seconds nobody. Like what I like to do is go back and check and see who needed to be 300 second and not. No, most people, man, coming here with that stuff, man, you gotta go. And the only reason I did that is not because of the male flower thing. I've been watching that person say a whole bunch of stupid stuff for the last hour, and like, man, nope, nope. They can go somewhere else and have some fun with that bullshit. Nah, I ain't gonna start that. So, I guess that's it. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'm gonna go in here and I might not need no dinner after them persimmons. Boy, they was feeling. Say, I believe it has more to do with the shape of the watermelons, the oblong ones to be male and round and female. I'm just gonna say this. It's not it's a difference. This is 2023. We're supposed to know more now than we did 50 years ago. Listen to what I'm saying. I was going to go, but I got to stay for this. This is 2023. 2023 BC. We are supposed to know more now than we did 50 years ago. There's a huge difference in ignorance and ignorant. Did you hear what I said? There is a huge difference between ignorance and ignorant. For everybody to keep talking about 2022, I don't wish myself to the future. Y'all in 2022, I'm in the future. I done sped this whole game up about 3 or 4 months. I'm done with this year. I'm done. Y'all can stay in 2022. Because the people that ask dumbass questions like that is in 2022. I'm gone. I was waiting on somebody to catch that. I'm gone. I'm in 2023. Did you hear what I said? I said we should be smarter today than we are 50 years ago. I took y'all in a time warp, man. I'm done with. I'm so done with 2022, man. I'm 50 already. I'm a whole year older already. I'm done. Year 49 was whack for me. Was whack. And the people scare me, man. I ain't gonna lie about it, man. The people scare me, man. People be like, oh, it's been predicted to be that. I don't care about none of that. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing about no predictions or nothing. Man, all I do is gotta look around and listen. Look around and listen, man. And it scares the hell out of me. Because people, man, it's a difference between ignorance and ignorant. What scares me is these are real people, man. These aren't trolls, man. These are real people walking through the world with this vision, and they think they're super knowledgeable. They're walking through this planet. Some of them is helping control the country. Some of them is feeding you your food when you go to a restaurant. Some of them is working on your finances. Man, these is real people that's productive in this world and with a mindset of self-destruction. It scares the hell out of me. Normally I would have played with that for a hot minute, but that just was just too much, man. The long watermelon, maybe that's the man. Maybe the round watermelon is the female. Oh God, help us. You know, sometimes, family, there's a saying in my hometown. If y'all from Toledo, Ohio, you from Detroit, you've heard this. Being quiet, you will live longer. You know? Sometimes, man, being quiet, you will live longer by just shutting up and listening sometimes. You know, you would think that I talk as much as I do on this camera. You think I talk as much in person. In person, man, I'm quiet. In person, you would think I'm a wallflower because I sit back and watch and listen before I open my stupid mouth and either make myself look stupid, sound stupid. Hell, we was at the camp. My wife did most of the talking. People like, what? Why ain't Led saying words? Lady Led, the one that don't talk, is the talker. I like to sit back and listen to people, man, make sure I ain't talking to the wrong one or talking to my op and gonna slip my throat. I want to make sure. Aaron B said, I'm not from Toledo, but heard that saying too. Yeah. Shut up, you live longer, man. People talk, man. It's because we live in a culture now. We live in a culture now where everybody want to be right. And I think it was Denzel Washington that said that. We live in an era where everybody want to be first. Don't nobody want to be right. We want to be the first ones to report something. We want to be the first one to say something. We want to be the first one. You want to have the first word and you want to have the last word. But nobody gives a shit about being correct. Nobody cares about being right. Nobody cares about the truth. Denzel Washington said that. And I recorded that and I listened to that one day until I fell asleep over and over and over and over and over again. I was going through something here on YouTube and I was like, that's the thing. Everybody believes the person that is the first one to say something, right? Just like in court. The first one that called the police, that's the other one is going to jail. Life is like that right now. Everybody want to be first and blurt stuff out. They end up blurting stuff out. That don't mean you right. That don't mean you right because you was the first one to report on this issue or speak on that situation. That didn't make it right. Everybody don't care, especially on these social media platforms. You don't care if a person is right. They just the one that's first to say something about a situation. And we automatically give them the credentials of being correct. Sometimes we need to all just shut all the way up. Just shut up sometime, man. You know, I'ma tell you this. I'ma be personal with y'all for a second. Cause this one touched me dear to my heart. I'ma tell y'all a personal situation. My son, my oldest boy, used to always say, you know, Dad, why you always getting on me? And you don't get on Princess Ledge, you always get on me. And we did the same stuff. Dad, why I'm always the one getting in trouble, but Princess Ledge don't get in trouble? Now I'm talking some real, my life, my reality with you. Dad, why you always getting on me? Why don't you never get her? I said, who am I arguing with right now? With me, because I don't know. Who am I arguing with right now? You with me? Where's she at? In her room? Cause she was smart enough to shut up. Go get the punishment and shut up. She knew Dad is not okay with what we just did. Let me stay out of his damn way and pretend I'm not here. You ever seen this? This like when we was kids, we do this. I don't know what holding your mouth open made you feel like you was invisible, but I heard my daddy coming down the steps and I'm supposed to be in the bed, but I'm downstairs in the refrigerator. I do this. Me and my sister. Shut up. My daughter wasn't the one trying to make up stuff like, why are we getting this? But no, she just shut up and she said, look, I know I was wrong. I'm going to take the lick and I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to the next room. Leave Dad alone. Not my son, though. My boy was always, he wanted to play judge and the jury. On the night of the 17th, me and Princess Led here as my accomplice, um, he wanted to discuss, he wanted to get legal matters going, and she's somewhere hiding. Sometimes the reason why you getting it the worst and you getting punished the worst because you sitting here making yourself look even stupider, making yourself look even more guilty. You even told on yourself several times in this conversation, and all I'm doing is this. Listening to you plead your case and give me even more lies, and the more you lie to me, the more I'm gonna be like, I was, in my head, I was gonna give you a week on punishment. Now you just made it two, because I knew that was a lie. And you in my face, you too close. I told you if you get too close, either we gonna fight or we gonna kiss. You too close. If you too close, if you closer than that, man, you better come give me a hug or I'ma deck you. I ain't never been one of them people, man. Either we gonna hug or we gonna fight. One or the other. Getting too close. You in my circle. So that's another week. When your sister up there giggling. Stupid. Sometimes shut up. Look at all the entertainers and rap stars today. The police and the feds don't need to rat them out about the murdering their ops, as they call it. They don't need, the police don't got to do nothing but just sit and listen. Listen to their song. They describe the whole murder in one of their lyrics. They start describing how they killed somebody in the lyrics in detail that wasn't even released in the media. And then they be like, I ain't do it. How you know it was me? I ain't. Because you released some details in your lyrics that we never released to the public. How did you know he had a pack of bubble yum in his pocket? Everybody got bubble yum. Fool, please. Don't nobody chew bubble yum no more. Only certain people go to seek out bubble yum. They have to go to special stores to find Hubba Bubba bubble gum and bubble yum. Don't nobody chew that no more. we talk too much. They tell on themselves. Police don't got to do no work no more. They just go pick them up now. They got more paddy wagons than they have police cars, because most of the time you rat your own self out and they just come to pick you up now. They don't need that many squad cars to chase you. You can rat yourself out. Let me get off here because I'll go on all night with this nonsense. All right? All right. For the most part, I feel guilty. I'm taking this video down because this went left. I just don't want nobody living this life and thinking there's such thing as a male and a female watermelon. I don't want that to even be spoken. This is why they used to seal up certain tombs, over in Egypt. They didn't seal some of them tombs up because they was hiding all these mystical secrets and treasures and stuff. Some of them sealed up them tombs because they're like, we don't ever want nobody to see no stupid shit like this. We don't want nobody in history to ever know we was this dumb at a certain time. We don't wrap him up, turn him into a mummy, and go put him in a tomb. We don't want nobody to ever know he existed. That's how dumb he was. Some of them people in Egypt, they is not no kings and pharaohs and stuff. We dig them up and like, he must have been some kind of great scholar. No, he was a dumbass. And we wanted to bury him as deep and dark as we possibly could. We did not want nobody to ever dig him up. We thought turning them into a scary mummy would scare y'all dumbasses into not digging him up. But y'all did the opposite. So if y'all bring him back to life, you'll see why we buried him. You'll see why we wrapped his ass up and got rid of him. We shot him down that tunnel or that tomb like a torpedo. We couldn't wait to get rid of him. Shit. Oh, Lord. Everybody in them tombs was not pharaohs. They were just the town idiot. Everybody in them tombs was not pharaohs and kings. Some of them was the village idiot. They was like, man, get rid of this, man. Man? Who dude is this? Who dude is this? Who dude is? Who he come with? Man, get rid of this one. Get rid of him. Put him in a tomb by himself with a whole bunch of clay pickle jars around him. We don't want nobody to find this fool. They'll think we all this stupid. They'll dig us up someday and think we all this dumb. Put him in a tomb by himself. That's why they find tombs with, it'll be about 50 soldier mummies, right? 50 soldier mummies. But then there's one lonely ass mummy over there across the field they done dug up. That was the village idiot. He wasn't no pharaoh. He was not the pharaoh. Get rid of him. Bury him over there. All of my soldiers, all my dogs, y'all can lay down with me. We over here. Him? Nah, man. Nah. You ain't cutting it. You ain't cutting it. So, anyway, before I get too stupid, because now I'm starting to sound like the male and the female watermelon people. Let me go. I'm going to take this video down and I'm going to try to edit it and just get the tree part. I'm going to just bring the tree part back. The rest I'm going to cut off. All right? Everybody have a wonderful night. Live Farmer 73. I love y'all. Please be safe. And I'm out. Bury that village idiot over there. He cannot be in the pyramid with us. He can't be in the pyramid with us, man. He make us look bad. All right? Everybody have a wonderful day. Oh, God. Sometimes we just need to shut up. Goodness. I just don't want to be around people like that, man. And the bad part is that's the majority of the world right now. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to go. Have you ever been over to TikTok and listened to some of these people that's trying to hit you with all this knowledge? And they believe it. They will die for this belief that they hear. I sit there. What kept me from going over to TikTok, you listen to these people and they say, look, facts, I got the receipts. Back in 1892. And don't be knowing shit. They heard some refurbished garbage from another person refurbishing garbage, from another person refurbishing garbage, and made that factual and come at you like this, like it's all facts, because they talking like this, and then they pointing at pieces in the book that make it sound like it's right. You took a little clause out of the book that made what you saying is right. On TikTok, man, please. Over on TikTok, either you twerking, you showing your nipples, or you a scholar or a prophet. Get all the way the F out of here. Someday, them people gonna look back on what they thought they knew and really do the rest of the reading of that book and gonna feel stupid, because you can't take that kind of stupid off the internet or the World Wide Web. It's on there forever. Your dumb is there for good. All right? Live from 73. I love y'all, and I'm out.